Exploring slope using allowance and debt. So let's look at an allowance of a kid who earns $4 a week for taking care of the family bicycle built for four. Maintenance, cleaning, all of that stuff. He can earn half a week's worth, and let's say he makes $4 a week. So that is his allowance for the week. If he works half a week, he also makes $2, any fractional of the week, therefore. So let's look at how much money he's going to make. Well, if he works for 1 week, he's going to make $4. 2 weeks, he's going to make $8. If he works for 10 weeks, he's going to make $40. So we can use this to come up with an equation that relates the number of weeks with the money he's earned in dollars. So $4 per week, our rate is $4 per week, and we can write that with a little slash there. And to come up with an equation, if we let y equal the money earned, so the dollars earned, and x equal to the number of weeks, we can say that y, the money earned, equals 4 times the number of weeks he works. And we can graph that just by using a couple of points right there. And this shows us a slope. The slope is kind of steep. For every 1 we go over, for every 1 in weeks, we go up 4. So each week he goes up 4. Another week he goes up 4 again. The steepness of this line is what's called the slope. And I like to think of slope as walking along it, going from left to right, just like you would read. And if you go from left to right and you're going uphill, that is a positive slope. A positive 4 slope, in fact. And if we were to look at it in rate form, that would be $4, a positive $4 per week. Let's take a look at another scenario. Let's say it's my job to clean up the trash from the family carpool, and I earn 50 cents a week. I have to get rid of all the Flaming Hot Cheetos packages, the Gatorade bottles, all of that stuff, and I earn 50 cents a week. It's not a hard job, so I don't make a whole lot of money. But if I look at it, I can also work for a half of a week. Let's say I work just a half a week, I would make 25 cents a week. And I can also work a quarter of the week. Now, if I have my y representing the money I earned in dollars, I can't put a 50 cents times x there because it's my money in dollars. So I need to think of it in terms of dollars. And since 50 cents is 1/2 of a dollar, I can write that as my money earned equals 1/2 of x, or 1/2 times x, which is my number of weeks worked. So if I were to work for 2 weeks, I would make $1. If I were to work for 4 weeks, I would make $2. I can connect those to make a line, and now I have another line that I can look at for the slope. This slope isn't quite as steep. My job isn't quite as hard. I'm not making as much money per week. And so I can still walk uphill. My slope is still positive. As I go from left to right, I am going uphill. So my slope is 1/2 for every $1 I make, I work 2 weeks. So $1 every 2 weeks is my slope with a rate. That M represents our slope. Now let's say I have a harder job, or you have a harder job, and I'm earning $10 a week. Let's say I'm doing something really hard, like cleaning out a chicken coop. So I'm making $10 a week every week. So for 1 week, I make $10. For 2 weeks, after 2 weeks, I have made $20. So my total amount made, my total number of dollars, equals 10 times the number of weeks I work. My slope is 10. As you can see, this slope is really steep as I go from left to right, because when I just work 1 week, I've gone all the way up to 10, and 2 weeks takes me up to 20. It's a tough climb. My slope is definitely greater, and it is a positive slope. Now, what if, instead of making money, we're losing money? Say you've purchased a jetpack and it uses $2 a week in gas. Over time, you're going to lose money. So each week, you're going to lose $2. So after 2 weeks, since you're losing $2 a week, you will lose $4. And after, let's say, 4 weeks, you're going to lose $8. So you can see over time, you're losing money. You have a negative slope. So if we look at our equation, the amount of money in dollars is equal to -2, because we're losing money, times the number of weeks. So our slope in this case is -2. As I go from left to right, I am falling down here. I'm going negative. I'm walking downhill from left to right. So my slope is negative. And my slope in the form of a rate is -$2 per week. Now there are two other scenarios we can look at with slope. Let's say you're given a flat amount. Say you're building a family tree house and your parents say, I'll give you $90 to build the tree house. I don't care how many weeks it takes you, you get a flat $90. So no matter how many weeks, the amount of money that you're going to earn is always $90. It's never going to change. You don't get $90 each week. So Y, your amount of money, is always equal to $90. It doesn't matter how many weeks you work. So we can also write this as Y equals 0x plus 90. Because no matter what x is, we're going to multiply it by 0. It's not going to count. And we're going to have that flat fee of $90. So when we graph this, this line is always at 90 on the Y. X changes, that's the number of weeks, but you're always making $90. Notice as you go from left to right, you're not going up or downhill. Your slope is 0. Let's pretend like you have a really weird family and they use the Wheel of Fortune in order to determine your allowance. It's possible that you could lose money. It's possible that you could win a lot of money. It's possible you could get 1 cent. Every possibility is on there. And they only give it to you on week 6 of your summer. So at x equals 6, your week number 6, you have infinite possibilities of the amount of money you're going to make. It doesn't really matter what y is here. So instead of the amount of money, I put y equals the possible amount of money because it's anywhere on the y-axis you could lose money and you could gain money. Now when I draw this line, I notice that as I go from left to right, I can't even go from left to right. There is no left to right. It's straight up and down, and if I try to walk that, I'm going to fall off and be very excited that I purchased my jetpack, even though it's going to cost me $2 a week to run it. So this slope is called an infinite or undefined slope because it's straight up and down. You have no movement from left to right. So looking at our possibilities, we have the possibility of a positive slope. As we go from left to right and you're walking uphill. Anytime you're going uphill from left to right, it is a positive slope. A negative slope, as you go from left to right, you're going downhill. So that's a negative slope. A 0 slope is just flat. And an undefined slope is the one you need a jetpack for, is straight up and down. It's just a nice vertical line. Those are our 4 possibilities when talking about slope.